continue our conversation about heart disease, but some clients was asking me to talk about toxicity levels in the body and inflammation, to stretch a little bit more on that. And seeing that toxicity level is also part of the cupping jurisdiction due to the lymphatic system. Abinia will be on today to discuss more and further information pertaining to that. So there are certain things in the body that cause high levels of toxicity. And that is one, dehydration, two, the diet that we eat, the inflammatory response that we get in our body due to the diet that we eat, and also the king of all toxicity, the parasite family, right? So a lot of people always ask him, but what is a parasite? What is a parasite? So you're going to explain exactly what parasites are and what they do to the body. And then we're going to talk about one specific parasite that links to high levels of toxicity and different symptoms associated with it. So a parasite is a plant or animal that lives upon or within another living organism at whom's expense. It obtains some advantage over that. So basically what it is, anything that feeds on the body at your expense is a parasite. So when I say things like this, a client was telling me that we all have a lot of parasites in our lives. I said, well, no, we can't put it like that. Right? So even down to things like a mosquito is also considered a parasite, right? Because they feed on the human body and they transmit different parasites into the human body as well. And the parasites live in the human host and they multiply in there, and then the mosquito pick it back up and transmit it to other hosts. So that is how diseases are spread through mosquitoes as well too. So we're going to talk a little more about the parasite. In particularly, one of the parasites we're going to talk about today is the roundworm family, which is called the whipworms. Whipworms are parasites that live in soils, right? And you get it from soil, but it lives in the intestines of a human being, and it causes indigestions to the abdominal area. Symptoms that you can get from whipworms are gas, diarrhea, abdominal pain, insomnia, nervousness, short-term memory loss, weakness, weight loss, right? It's also associated with allergies, migraine, sinuses, and problems of snoring, right? So persons will experience a lot of snoring as well too, could actually have the roundworm parasite in the system. Stool can be mixed with water and mucus and blood. So you can actually see mucus and blood coming out of the anus area after having the excretion of your stool. Right, a lot of patients come to my clinic experiencing that as well too, especially persons who have issues like colitis, diverticulosis, all these symptoms associated with the colon. And let me tell you something with the colon. The colon is a very, very, very unique part of your body. It's called the boss of the body. The reason for that is because it excretes all the waste. But parasites is something that we could never get away from. We eat it in our food, we get it in our soil, we walk in parasites, we do everything pertaining to these microorganisms because it's a wide field. Things like fungus is associated with parasite, bacteria is associated with parasites, viruses is also associated with parasites, sexual transmitted disease, which is viruses, is associated with parasites. Everything is a microorganism, it's part of the microorganism family. So parasite is a very broad field. We heard the terminology parasite for the last 2 years associated with COVID and ivermectin and all these things. So we just need to understand what we are dealing with and how lethal these parasites can be. The reason why I'm focusing on one particular parasite is because of parasite is a very, very broad family. Go on and on talking about parasite. So the roundworm is one of the main parasites that most people experience symptoms based on. It's one of the most symptomatic parasites that we have, because a lot of people do experience gassy, diarrhea, abdominal pains. They're coming for that a lot. Some people can't sleep. Some people have a lot of nervousness, anxiety, memory loss. Some is weakness and weight loss associated with that as well too. Some persons experience allergy. Those with head infection may experience damage to the intestinal wall, prolapse of the colon, edema, and rectum, and appendicitis, right? So persons who have these particular parasites in them can experience bleeding in the stool. A lot of people do experience that. Once you experience that, you know for sure that you are dealing with a very, very bad microorganism. So that is something that you really want to get checked out and rectify as fast as possible. In children, it may cause severe anemia, all right? So, and cognitive development. So children who have difficulties studying in school, children who have very low blood count, and these things could be because of identification of a microorganism. Now, most of the symptoms associated in a person's body is always linked to some sort of microorganism. So for example, another very lethal parasite, which is a topic on its own, is called a fluke. It's called there are different types of fluke. There are intestinal fluke, there are liver fluke, there are lung fluke, there are brain fluke. There are different types of fluke. But once you identify intestinal fluke, which is the main fluke, once you identify a fluke in a different area of a person's body, it's classified as a cancer, because intestinal fluke are the main parasite that's responsible for giving you cancer. So once you identify a fluke in a different area of the body, let's say you saw one in the liver when you do an ultrasound, a CT, MRI, and you see a fluke in the liver, or you see a fluke in the mammary glands, or you see a fluke in the lungs, that is associated with cancer. Once you see it in the intestinal, where they're supposed to live and stay, that was just associated with disease of the colon. But if it's too much of the fluke in the colon, you could experience intestinal development of intestinal cancer as well too. So fluke has been researched and linked to development of cancer. The reason why we say development of cancer, because there are very variables that links to cancer, but fluke is the main thing. And fluke spreads, make a lot of eggs, and it spreads rapidly in the body. Actually, some studies was done that flukes, intestinal flukes, liver flukes, kidney flukes, different flukes can make over 100,000 eggs per day in the cells. Flukes are one of the parasites that have teeth on it, that have two teeth to the front that grabs onto that tissue and holds onto that area and don't let go. And it make over 100,000 eggs on that particular part daily into the cells of the organs, so like the liver cells. So this is why things like cancer that spread so fast in the body, because of the amount of eggs that these things make on a daily basis. And it's very hard to neutralize and get rid of those flukes because of the way how they multiply themselves on a rapid basis. That's one of the reasons why as well cancer is very hard to fix, right? Because if you poke it, it make more. It will make over 200,000 eggs, right? So that is a topic on its own. I know a lot of people is like, wow, yeah, I didn't know that one, right? But flukes carry, you need to, in order for you to deal with patients with cancer, you need to study the different types of flukes in details, and then you will have a better understanding exactly what you are dealing with. And once you know what you are dealing with, you can develop different protocols pertaining to that. So parasites, as I said, cause different ailments in the body. So we're not generalizing parasites in the body. We go in some more detail whenever we can. But parasites cause different issues. So different parasites cause different symptoms and different issues in the body. Heart disease, all these things is also associated with that as well too. High inflammatory response, not practicing the foundation of good health, which is proper rest, proper hydration, proper nutrition, proper movement, and meditation. So those are the 5 foundations of health. It is always important to practice those things. So detoxification is very important for the body, especially a parasite detoxification, because you have to know what type of parasite you are dealing with, so you can actually neutralize the parasites in your body. So for example, one of the herbs that we know and we're familiar with is the clove. Clove is a herb that all of us are familiar with, but clove is responsible for getting rid of the parasite eggs, not the parasite itself. So parasite go through a 3-phase elimination stage where you will neutralize the parasites, you paralyze the parasites, you detoxify the parasites out of the system, and then you get rid of all the spawns of the parasite. So don't think you can just get rid of the parasite and don't get rid of the spawns of the parasite. That is very important. Also, we have Well, we're going to talk about our next parasites. On the next topic, we're going to talk about that particular one. That one actually transmit to other persons. So once you have that one, you have to detoxify the entire family once you have that particular parasite. So we're gonna talk about that next topic. So detoxification and elimination is very important. Once you don't have a proper bowel movement on a daily basis, there's an 80% chance that you have parasites. Once you have symptoms that I discussed earlier, things like gas, diarrhea, abdominal pain, insomnia, nervousness, short-term memory loss, weakness and weight loss, allergies, migraine, sinus problems, and snoring, once you have those symptoms, there's a 60% chance that you also have parasites in your system. Where do parasites come from? Parasite comes from, somebody thinks parasite comes from, it's also from eating pork. So people who eat pork and raw foods, right? Like I think sushis, a lot of people eat sushis in our country, and pork, 80% of pork is pathogens, which is diseases, hence the reason why pork is also the forbidden meat. So in my studies and in my data collection with my patients, 95% of the persons that are coming here who love pork always have the world of issues. They have diabetes, hypertension, constipation, don't sleep properly, insomnia, all right? They always have high cholesterol, they always have fatty liver, they always have a lot of clinical diseases in the body. So pork is one of the forbidden meats. The reason for that, as I said before, is because of 80% of it is pathogens. It have a lot of different types of parasites in pork. So that is one of the meat that you want to stay away from. And raw foods. A lot of people think that raw food is actually a good thing. It's not. It's something that you definitely need to stay away from. Yes, it might serve some sort of popularity where, hey, you know, I eat sushi. No, but you are actually putting raw parasite, which is the flukes that's live inside of there. So you are literally putting developments of cancer inside of your body. So that's something that you really definitely want to stay away from. So when we are studying, we don't like to say, hey, don't eat this. We are not dictators. What we will say is that if you choose to eat pork, always cook that particular meat over 170 degrees to kill off at least most of the microorganisms inside of the parasite. But my personal choice is to stay away from that meat because it serves no purpose. But if you choose to eat it because you love the meat and it's very sweet, make sure the safety protocol for pork is over 170 degrees. Remember that. So if you cook it anything under that, well, you actually setting up yourself for failure. There was this one, you know, I love to always give a test case. There was this one test case that came to my office, and he received, he get a stroke, but it's a TIA, it's a mini stroke, right? And how he get that stroke is that he went down to his fridge, 3 o'clock in the morning, and he intake 5 slices of raw. Well, not raw, it was cooked, but it was in the fridge. He didn't reheat it. Ham, which is pork, right? And after eating that was the day for him. He experienced a stroke, and he was wondering, but how eating raw ham, I would say it raw because it was pre-cooked, give him those issues because his body was bombarded with all these microorganisms, and it was able to create an inflammatory response because these microorganisms do create inflammatory response in the body. And then what happened is that it blocked the artery, the carotid artery that goes to his head, and then he experienced a small TIA. He was able to recover from that TIA within about a month or 2 because it wasn't that major. And then he learned his lesson, and his story was he would never indulge himself in that sort of meat anymore, right? So these microorganisms do cause a lot of harmful side effects in the body. If you're experiencing these side effects, please get yourself checked out. You can check me. We have something called a paracleanse. Once we know that you identify as having those symptoms associated with parasites, we give the patient something called a parasite cleanse, and that we'll be able to detoxify the body and rid the body of these parasites. It's something we've been using also during the pandemic, patients giving them the paracleanse. But we always try to do a quick evaluation just to make sure that the patient can actually handle a parasite cleanse because the body We don't want to give you something on top of something and it causes you to feel weak and symptoms and whatnot. So just a quick evaluation. Probably on the phone we can do it too, if you have this, if you have that and whatnot. But if you know you're accustomed doing paracleanse, you just pick up the paracleanse at our office. So I know that we don't have much time, so I just want to give Abini some time to talk about the detoxification process through cupping as well too. So Abini.
And also Adam is also in with you guys as well.
Okay, all right. So
yes, I'm here, but I'm driving, so Abini will speak. All right.
All right. So thank you, Dr. Lewis, and that was a very informative talk that you gave there. I benefited so much you wouldn't believe. So in respects to detoxing with the cupping therapy and so on, so having detox or having intake or ingest so many different things. Now I want everyone to understand that everything we eat has toxins, even if it's healthy, and a byproduct of it. If you were to ingest a nutmeg, an entire nutmeg, you will drop down dead on the spot. That is the reality of food, even the healthy food. Right? So no matter what we ingest, as healthy as it may be, we will always have a buildup of toxins in our bodies. And what we have to do is to constantly cleanse and detox and so on. So what Dr. Lewis mentioned about having parasites and so on in your body, what this does, it prevents your villi, right, in the small intestines from absorbing the good nutrients from the food. And what happens, you have organ failure or dysfunction of the body. Maybe you get anemic and different things. So you really, really do have to detox regularly. So with the cupping therapy, it will detox your blood. It will build the red blood cells. It will build your immune system to defend the body against parasites and so on. And in respects to the stomach, if you're having maybe Crohn's disease, or you have diarrhea, or the other one like incontinence, where you cannot go off, cupping helps with cupping helps with all these different things. You will get an instant relief or an instant bowel movement or so on from in the stomach. But the most important thing, just like what the doctor was saying, is that you focus on your diet and your lifestyle. If you focus on this, you will avoid having to reach to the point where you need to patch. What you can do is just maintain. You will just have to maintain. You do your cupping regularly, you take your herbs regularly, you drink your teas and so on. You just maintain your body, right? So cupping, it mostly focuses on cleaning the blood. That is after we have dumped all the rubbish into our streams, right? But really, actually, everything that the doctor said in respect to the detoxing process and so on is really from the dieting. So, I don't really have much to say in respect to that, to be honest.
So what you put into your body is the results that you will get out of your body. So remember, these microorganisms live everywhere. They live in our food. They live every single way.
On our skin, on our faces.
On our faces, our skin. Arthropods are parasites, which consider like mosquitoes. So it's all over. They live on the surface of our skin. They live every different parts of the body. Actually, mosquitoes was the transmitter of the malaria parasite that wiped out almost half of, I think it was a quarter of America or something like that. So yeah, but it killed a lot of persons. And then the president at that time went on a all-out parasite war and wiped out malaria from the face of the earth. Right. So as I said, parasites, if you talk about parasites for too long, if you know what parasites do, if you know where they are all around us, you will actually be scared to even go out your home. Yeah, that can tell you how lethal they are.
Yeah, you can become OCD.
OCD, it's linked to all viruses and all diseases.
But it is important. It's important to our environment that we have all this bacteria and parasites.
Of course.
However, sometimes they can get naughty. Sometimes they get naughty. But the thing is, sorry.
Go ahead.
I wanted to suggest a herb as well. It's an Indian herb, and you probably know about it, doctor. It's called custus root.
Yeah,
right? It's very good for killing all those different worms and so on, and it's like a probiotic as well. It's also adaptogenic, right? So when you take it, it kills the worms and the different parasites of the intestine, right? So I just want to suggest that.
We're going to talk about Candida too for our next topic. We all heard about Candida, even when we do blood analysis at the clinic here. We see a lot of Candida, but Candida, we need Candida. Candida actually is part of the helping the digestive tract and whatnot, helping keep other parasites in check, right? So Candida serve a role in our body. Hence the reason why we don't wipe Candida out of our system, but an overgrowth of Candida,
correct,
which is being fed on excess sugar intake, can cause serious problems in your body. So everything have its way in the Amazon jungle, but too much of one thing can lead to a bad thing.
Always, it's a balance, because even they were saying that the cancer cells are very good as well. Like having a certain amount of cancer cells in your body is important to keep your immune system active, right?
And to go even in more depth, parasites also serve a purpose in your body, because there was some studies was done with a doctor. He actually used parasites to control the autoimmune condition. The reason for that is because parasites send out different toxins and signals to the immune system to kind of calm the immune system. Stimulate the immune system. So the immune system will not neutralize him. So you send out a chemical, because parasites are some of the most intelligent beings in the body. They know how to hide, they know how to remain dormant, they know how to do everything pertaining to the body's health. So they will send a signal to the immune system, calming the immune system down, so the immune system won't be too overactive to neutralize all the parasites and all the eggs in the body. So it's that intelligent and it's that powerful. So some doctors were using parasites and putting it into the system of persons who have autoimmune condition. So the parasites now will signal the immune system to calm the immune system down. And for those who do not know what is an autoimmune condition, autoimmune condition is where the white blood cells turn against the body. So the white blood cells become overactive and damage the healthy tissues in your body. So lupus and rheumatoid arthritis and all these things. So an autoimmune is very hard to fix. So those practitioners who are actually working with autoimmune patients, they know how difficult it is to rectify autoimmune condition. We have our techniques here that we use in our clinic, but autoimmune on the whole is very difficult to fix. So what these doctors did, they used the parasites and put it in the system, and with that the parasites now would send all the toxins and hormones and signals to the immune system, and it will calm the immune system down. And with a calm immune system, the body will fight against itself. So everything. On this note, I just want to add in that psoriasis is also an autoimmune problem. Yeah, psoriasis and we have had some success with that as well. I had one psoriasis case, and we gave her the custus root because we want to believe that the origin of psoriasis problem is in the gut. So we gave her the custus root, and we treated her with the oil of the custus root on her skin, as well as cupping therapy, and she was able to, suppress all flares and so on. So I know this topic is a lot to take in. I know some persons didn't even understand it for the first wave, but we will do a recap on this topic as well too, so a person can actually understand what we're dealing with, because it is a lot to process. I understand and I know. I'm not even here in Carla still trying to process as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I know. I could rattle and I could go overboard sometimes. But what we need to do to understand this, we just need to do another program pertaining to it, and we will understand it much better.
What is the name of the root that you just called? Could you repeat that for them?
Custus root, COSTUS. Root, custus root. It's an Indian origin, Indian origin.
Can you ask the lady to repeat the name? Okay, so 2 people are asked. Okay, great. All right, guys, give the numbers, because we are almost out of time, and we just have about 5 minutes, and I see the phones have been ringing for the last half hour, so let me take some calls. Is that okay, guys?
Yeah, that's okay.
No problem.
Carla, you could give the number after.
Oh, shucks. Just kidding. 625-2759 and 624-7729. Those are the numbers to call to get on the inside. Of course, if you want to make an appointment to do your clinical assessment at the clinic, you can call 328-4176. That number again is 328-4176, 233-2810. That number again, 233-2810. 2810. That's the number directly for the clinic. And of course, you could call the WhatsApp at 328 or leave a message at 4176 for them to call you back. If you want to make an appointment or speak with the doctor, you can do so. 328-4176 and 233-2810. Hello, good morning, caller.
Good morning,
Morning.
and a very good morning to you guys.
Thank you.
What can one do
Mm-hmm.
to mitigate the severity of parasites in one's body? What can one do to mitigate the severity of parasites in one's body? Thank you.
What can you do to mitigate parasites?
Parasites in one's body. What
Right.
can one do to mitigate the severity of parasites in one's body?
What can you do to mitigate parasites in
One
one's
body.
body? Yeah.
Right. So what we have at the clinic here, there's different herbs comprised together to actually get rid of parasites from the body through the 3-phase protocol. Right? So what hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So what the process is to paralyze the parasite, detoxify the parasites, and get rid of its spawns. So there are different herbs that follow that protocol. So some of the herbs associated with that in the proper dosage, that is very, very important. Dosage is very important. Remember, herbs
Very.
are medicine,
Mhm.
right? Herbs are the only medicine. We are not alternative medicine. We are the medicine. Other
Yeah.
medicine are alternative medicine because they use our medicine to make their medicine.
Yeah.
We are the medicine. Okay, so I want people to remember that. So the other medicine, the alternative medicine, is the emergency medicine that use our herbs. So for example, ivermectin, that herb is just patent. That is just wormwood, that patent. yeah, right? So don't get confused, people, with the different, not brainwash, brain toxin, not wash. I am washing the brain now, right? We are medicine. Other medicine are alternative medicine. You need our medicine, which is God-given medicine, to make other medicine. All right, so let me get that down, Pat. So proper dosage is very important while also using our medicine. So we use herbs like black walnut, wormwood, garlic clove, right? Those are herbs associated with cascara, sagara, rhubarb. Those are herbs that are associated with the getting rid of and eradicating parasites out of the system. So with that now, what we did in our clinic, we formulate those particular herbs in the proper dosage per capsule, put it in a capsule form, and we give it to patients under proper dosage that was on trial for the last year and something before it was put on shelf. All right. So there are proper protocol to everything that you do. And we try to keep our standard to the best that we could possibly keep it in this clinic. We thrive on proper standard in our clinic, and we're going to explain that in our next program for you guys as well. The system that we use and how we rate ourselves per month with our success rate in our clinic. We have a rating program that we do in our clinic here. All right. We are not perfect. That is why we rate ourselves. All right. So that is the best way to eliminate. Carla, you want to say anything?
Basically, I just want to give the numbers again. 328-4176. That number again is 328-4176.
Right.
Yeah, that's basically it. 233-2810. That number again is 233-2810.
I know we're cutting close for time, so that's asking everybody if there's anything. Abini, you have anything to add?
I just want to request from you if you can just how to say like shorten everything, like give back everything, give a conclusion, a recap, like you can
Summary,
good food, like break it down real simple.
Okay, so in layman terms, parasites are responsible for causing most of the diseases in the body. Parasites are very smart microorganisms that lives in our body. Remember, what is a parasite? A parasite is a plant or animal that lives upon or within another living organism.
Mm-hmm.
So at whom's expense? So it lives on you at your expense. All right. So that is basically what a parasite is. So anything that lives on the host at your expense, if it feeds on your blood, if it feeds on your nutrition, if it feeds on your water, if it feeds on your cell, if it's responsible for reproduction on the organ, which is the fluke that creates over 100,000, lay 100,000 eggs on the organ per day, that is also considered a parasite. If it damages the organ, if it's responsible for a sexual transmitted disease, it's also considered the parasite family because it's under viruses, bacteria, and fungus.
Right.
If you, persons who get urinary tract infection, which is UTIs, people who have itching in the private areas, people who have inflammation coming out from the private areas, all those stuff are linked to parasite. So it's good to neutralize them. Some parasites are easy to get rid of. Some parasites are very difficult to get rid of. Some parasites are dormant. They remain there until the immune system is weak, like the herpes parasite that remain in the body until the immune system is weak. And once the immune system is weak, it comes out and then leave different scars and stuff on the body, on the lips, on different areas. So everything is linked to that. So parasite is a very big and wide family. And we of course, we will continue doing our topic based on that, and also heart diseases and different things in the body. So there's more to talk about. We cannot understand all in one program. Trust me, you can't. You will try, but you can't. But we are here to serve you. We are here to make sure that you are staying healthy. We are opening a branch in Tobago starting from June to give Tobago the health experience that they deserve. So we are opening a branch there as well too. So look out for that. You can call the office for further information pertaining to that. What we basically do, we try our best to know and be good doctors, so we could give you the best of care. That's all. That's what we try for. That's to give you the best of care. We try our best.
Do no harm. Do no harm.
Do no harm. We take our oath, right? Well, at least the naturopaths take our oath. Right?
That's our naturopathic oath.
That's our naturopathic oath. Do no harm, right? So we in spite of the pandemic, in spite of the COVID, in spite of the upcoming, here to serve. Could contact our number. You could WhatsApp us anytime you want. Feel free to do so. We are here. We have a range of services at the clinic. We have the blood that identify parasites in the blood, and also to identify candida as well too. That is linked to findings. So we find 80% of our parasites and candida and fungus in the blood. We have the scan that we identify the types of parasites on the scan. So you see the different types of parasite. With the blood, you could identify it, but the scan will tell you the different types of it. And then to get rid of it, we have the cupping. Actually, cupping, I was introduced by Adam because of he cupped out a parasite out of someone, and he gave me the sample for me to identify it. So that's how we actually linked. Right? So we have the cupping to eradicate it. We have the lymphatic detox to eradicate it. We have the paracleanse to eradicate it. And we have a general detox tea, which is called a Louie tea, to eradicate it as well. So
all right. Well, we have run out of time, guys.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being on the inside. You could, of course, catch them again tomorrow. Don't forget, you guys are on tomorrow as well. And then they're back again on Tuesday and next week, Thursday as well. So keep it right here. You could do.
Thank you for guys. Do enjoy your day.
All right. Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.